Hello, and this is Jackie. Welcome back to the mat. We are going to be working on our digestion today. And the reason for that is, I don't know about you, but sometimes things just get a little crazy. Sometimes things we eat, stress. So we're going to work on a class today that's about 30 minutes of moving, flowing, kind of getting that digestive fire ignited. And then the last 30 minutes is going to be a little bit more restorative, kind of stuffing out that fire. So trying to stoke that and kind of bring some balance back into that. So what this is called, if you follow the chakras, is your third chakra, your solar plexus. It aids in your digestion. It's meant for your confidence, your self-esteem. We're going to work on some deep belly breaths a little bit. So grab your blanket, your blocks, mat, straps, whatever you have, and join me on the mat. Okay, we are going to start in a child's pose. We're going to start forward. It helps to really release a lot of the tension in your head. Also, we're going to let the thighs open up with our belly in between. So, coming to your knees, let's bring our knees as wide as our mat, our toes touching. Go ahead and bring the sit bones back. You can always place a blanket on top of the calves if it's too much to come all the way back. I'm going to use my blanket as a prop for my forehead. And you can just set it up to wherever it feels nice. You can even prop it up a little bit higher if you'd like. And just come down, letting your forehead completely release to the mat. And once you're here, start to notice the breath. Notice the sensation as you fill up the belly. And gently hug and lift, releasing the breath. Deep inhale. Exhale. And just noticing any sensations in the body. Maybe you wiggle side to side, left or right with the hips shifting, loosening the lower back. And then maybe you come to stillness with your forehead down. Maybe you rock the forehead side to side. You could always stack your hands on top of each other, letting your forehead rest there if that's a little bit easier. And like I said, you're always welcome to bring this earth up to you by lifting up the props towards you. And just let everything go, taking a notice here with the breath. And sometimes I will lift up and turn my head just so you can hear me a little bit better. But just keep yourself supported here, releasing any tension. And maybe bring a focus or a dedication or intention for your practice today. Mine will be to focus on igniting the belly and releasing the belly. So that way I can help to maybe neutralize and balance my digestive system there. 2 more breaths. 1 more. And when you're ready, bring the hands underneath the shoulders, spread the fingers wide, bring the knees back to center. Go ahead and lift up, maybe tap out the legs, and go ahead and move any of the props off to the side. And just bring the hands underneath the shoulders. Spread the fingers wide, so wrist and shoulders in line, knees and hips in line, about 1 to 2 fist distance between your knees. And then from here, let's take an inhale. Let's let the belly soften down as you gaze forward, lift the chest. Exhale, pull the belly button up and in. Round the spine as you tuck the chin, pressing into the floor. So inhale, softens the belly, lifts the gaze for cow. Exhale as you're rounding the spine, arching the back for cat. And let this be your breath. It can be a little faster or a little slower than my breath. It's your practice, it's your mat. 3 more using your breath. Let it guide you in and out, warming up the spine. Take those big, deep belly breaths into the lower belly. Exhaling, pull the belly button up and in. And then release. Beautiful. Relax the shoulders. Maybe a little sway. And then let's bring our knees back just a little bit more behind us so that our wrists are not stacked directly underneath our shoulders. And let's tuck the toes under and then just start to lift the knees and just hover. If this bothers your wrist, you can always come down to your forearms or up onto a block. And gently release that down. Go ahead and bring the sit bones back towards the heels and just stretch nice and long for a puppy dog. So the toes are curled under, sit bones back towards the heels, arms are stretching, gaze is towards the floor. Let's inhale, wave that spine long, gently lift the chest, arch it up, and then exhale, round the spine and bring those sit bones all the way back. So feel that nice long spine. Beautiful. Your next inhale waves it nice and long, and then start to bend the elbows next to the rib cage. Bring the chest all the way down to the mat. Untuck the toes, let the tops of the feet press into the mat. Press them so much that you feel that the knees are lifting up off of the mat. Hands are next to your chest. Inhale, roll the shoulders up, back, and away. Pull the belly button up and in so the pelvis is pressing into the mat, tops of the feet. Maybe you can lift the hands up. Or baby cobra. Beautiful. Gently release the chest down. Let the forehead come down to the mat. And just wiggle out the hips. Let's do that again. So pressing the tops of the feet in, lift the knees. Inhale, peel those shoulders up and back, elbows pressing into the rib cage. Maybe you lift the chest a little bit higher for a higher cobra. Big breaths in, beautiful. Keep that gaze looking forward. Exhale as you peel it down, head to the mat, and wiggle out those hips. And then one more time, we're just going to show you to come into your upward dog. So pressing the tops of the feet into the mat, pull that belly button up and in, roll those shoulders up and back on an inhale. Maybe pressing into the arms, maybe straightening the arms, lifting the tops of the thighs off the mat as well. Inhale. Exhale, gently rolling all the way back down. And wiggle that out. Take a little break here. Beautiful. And let's tuck those toes under. And let's press into the hands. And let's roll over hands and knees. And let's lift all the way up for our first downward dog. Beautiful. So walking it out, let one heel come down to the mat. And then shifting. So one knee bends, one straight. Relaxing the shoulders away from the ears. Relaxing the neck. Gaze can either be down right at your mat, can be back towards your toes, even up towards your tops of your thighs. Let's come back to some stillness here, one breath. And then we're going to roll through. So go ahead and rise high to the ball of your feet. Bend the knees. On your inhale, roll and wave the spine nice and long. Stack those shoulders over the wrist. As you exhale, you can keep the legs straight if you're ready, or bend the knees to the floor and elbows back down towards the rib cage. Beautiful. And then from here, release the hands, release the feet. Let's just come with the hands underneath the shoulders for a moment. We're going to stretch into the fronts of our rib cage. So press your hands down onto the mat, have about shoulder width distance, and then feel like you're trying to pull yourself forward on the mat without really going anywhere, and feel the rib cage nice stretching. Can you press those tops of the feet into the mat?
Pull the belly button up and in for Sphinx pose. Beautiful. Shoulders are away from the ears. Big breath in. And exhale. Bring the hands next to the shoulders, next to the chest. Tuck those toes under. Firm those thighs. If you'd like, this time you can come up through plank and then shift all the way up for a downward dog. Beautiful. Take a breath here. And rise high to the ball of your feet. Bend your knees. Look toward where you're going, forward, and walk your feet all the way to the front of the mat. Once you get here, hang it forward. Bend the knees. Let the belly come to the thighs. Maybe you're grabbing opposite elbows. Let the head hang heavy. Maybe a little sway side to side. Relax the neck. Beautiful. And then pressing into the feet, rise high all the way up. Reach up, look up, hands to your heart center. Beautiful. Find what we call mountain pose. So open up the arms, palms are facing away from you. Shoulders are relaxed down the back. Lift and spread the toes. Feel the ball of the big toe, ball of the pinky toe, middle of the heel. Make sure you're not locking out the knees, so you have a little bend in the knees. Thighs are lifting up away from the kneecaps. And the tailbone is sinking down towards the earth. The chin is pulled back just a little as the crown of the head reaches up towards the ceiling. Nice big mountain pose, Tadasana. Beautiful. Let's inhale, reach and stretch the arms up and overhead. Exhale as we fold it forward. Let's inhale that half lift. The hands slide up the shins, flat back. Exhale, fold. Keeping the feet where they are, bend the knees, and then sit it back, lifting the arms up for chair pose. So here you can have your arms reaching straight up. You can have your arms open to what they call cactus or field goal. You can even have them pressing together, prayer position, or just even hands on your hips. Where do you need to be today? Beautiful. You should be able to feel like you can wiggle the toes, belly button up and in so the back is lengthening, tailbone down. Beautiful. And then bring it all the way back up, hands to heart center. Shift over to your right foot. Take a big step back with the left foot. You're going to have space between your feet. You're going to be on the ball of that back foot. Your heel is lifted. And then from here, reach the arms up and overhead, and then start to bend that right knee over the right ankle. So make sure you can see your big toe. My little corny phrase is big toe, good to go. So make sure you can see your big toe on that right foot. Beautiful. And then from here, open up those arms to cactus arms, and then take a little bend in that back knee, dipping it down. Hold here. Beautiful. And then inhale, reach and stretch all the way up. Exhale, bend it down. Stay right there. I'm just going to turn and face you so you can see me a little bit easier. And then inhale, reach and stretch all the way up. Exhale as you bend. Beautiful. And then from here, bring the hands to heart center. Make sure you have your balance. Straighten that back leg. Make sure you can feel a nice little stretch in that front hip flexor. Turn your rib cage towards the right. Reach the right arm back, left arm forward. Opening up here. Beautiful. Let's take the right hand behind us. Reach behind us. Try to reach for the top of the left thigh. The left hand can reach up and back. You don't have to do this. One more breath. And then reach the arms all the way back up. And start to bend the knee. Bring the hands to heart center. Is everything burning? Beautiful. And then let's press it forward, coming into a warrior three. So finding a beautiful balance here. Relaxing the shoulders, balancing onto that right foot. Left hip is going towards the floor. Left heel is kicking away. Shoulders are relaxed. And then bring it all the way down. Finding the mountain pose. Take your breath here. Find your center. Feel that fire building up in the gut. Burning here. Get rid of all those toxins. And let's inhale, reach all the way up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Bend those knees, sit it back. Lift up to your chair pose. Wherever you want to be here for your arms, hold that belly button up and in, lengthening the tailbone. Relax the shoulders. Beautiful. Reach and stretch all the way up. Bring your hands to heart center or your hips. And then take a big step back with that right foot. You're going to be on the ball of the back foot. Make sure you have space between your feet. And then reach those arms up when you're ready. Relax the shoulders for a high lunge. And then from here, start to straighten that back leg. Just feel that stretch, that front hip flexor there. Beautiful. One more breath. Start to bend that left knee. Make sure that the left knee does not go in front of the ankle. You can see your big toe. And when you're ready, and open up the arm to cactus arms and start to bend that back knee down. Hold it here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, reach and stretch it all the way up. Exhale as you bend it all the way back down again. Beautiful. And then from here, bringing the hands to heart center. We're going to turn our chest this time towards our left leg. And we're going to rotate the chest away as you reach the left arm back. Maybe the right arm forward. Gaze can stay in front of you, or you can look back towards your left hand. Maybe the left hand reaches back and tries to touch the top of that right thigh as the right hand reaches up and back. Find your breath. Phew. And when you're ready, reach it all the way back up. Relax the shoulders. Bring your hands to heart center. And then bend that back knee so you can leap it forward and find your balance onto your left leg. Kick that right heel back behind you for a warrior three. Your gaze is towards the floor. Relaxing the shoulders. Hands can be at heart center. They can open up wide. You can reach forward wherever you want to be. One more breath. And then release that leg. Shake it on out. Coming back to your mountain pose. Taking a deep breath. You got this. All right, let's inhale, reaching our arms up and overhead. Exhale as we fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, full. Plant the hands, stepping on back to a downward dog. You can stay here or you can roll through vinyasa. So waving it forward to your plank position, lowering down through your choice of your chaturanga. Coming into your version of upward dog or cobra today. Tucking the toes under, lift the hips up, downward dog. Beautiful. You got this. One more breath. And then extend the right leg up into the sky. Exhale, let's curl the knee to the nose one time. Inhale, extends it all the way up. Exhale, steps it all the way through towards that right thumb. Beautiful. So this is where I'm going to use a block. If I have it handy, I can place it on the outside of that right ankle. And then I'm going to start to lower that back heel, and then my toes are going to be at an angle. Line up my heel to heel or heel to arch. And then start to straighten that right leg, reaching all the way up with the left. So from here, you can have your hand on a block, shin, thigh. What you don't want to happen is that you're trying so hard to get to the floor that you're doing this. So you want to extend it up and come up to where you can find that length between both sides. Beautiful. One more breath. And then bend that right knee. Shift up to your warrior two. Your gaze is going to be over your right fingertips. Chest is towards the long side of the mat. Knee is over the ankle. You peek down, you can see your big toe. Left hand's going to come to the thigh. Right reaches up and back. Revolve, warrior two. Beautiful. And then reach those arms all the way back out again. Hand down to the top of that shin. Straighten that leg, find that find that triangle again. Relax the shoulders. If you'd like, this time turn your palm away, reach behind the back. Maybe you find the top of that right thigh or just a nice little bind to open up that left shoulder. Big breath here. And then starting to turn your chest to spot the floor. You can grab a block or touch the floor, and you're going to start to step up a little bit closer. You're going to reach that right arm out in front of you. We're going to do a balancing half moon. So opening up the hips, your toes are going to point straight ahead. Flex that foot. Maybe the left hand is on the hip. When you're ready, maybe that left arm can reach. Gaze can be at the floor, straight ahead, or up towards your left hand. One more breath. And then unwind it all. Take a nice big forward fold. Relax it out. Beautiful. Take a breath here. One more inhale. And roll all the way up. Inhale, reach it up. Hands to your heart center. One hand on your heart, one on your belly. Feel that sensation as you breathe into the lower part of the belly. Imagine this yellow flame is on fire. You're igniting it as you breathe deeply into the lower part of the belly. And as you exhale, you're going to pull that belly button up and in. You're going to stoke that fire. Inhaling to ignite it. Exhale to put it out. One more using your own breath. And hands back to your sides, mountain pose. Feel nice and strong and stable. Crown of the head reaching up. 3 points on your feet, reaching into the earth. And then inhale, reaching the arms up and overhead. Exhale, fold it forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands, step, float, forward. Walk your feet all the way back. Wave it to your plank position, lowering down through your chaturanga, upward dog or cobra. Tucking the toes, downward dog. Take 2 breaths. You can always bring the knees down if you need. This is too much for the hands or the shoulders. And then left leg is going to extend to the sky. Exhale, curl it in, arch, knee to nose once. Inhale, extend. Exhale, step it all the way through towards that left thumb. Go ahead and grab that block if you have one. Or just bring your hand to the shin. Lower that back heel. If I look back, my heel to heel or heel to arch. And I'm going to start with my right hand onto my right hip. Or just straighten that left leg. Beautiful. Spin that chest open. Relax the neck. You want to feel like that left inner thigh is spinning open. You're pressing all 3 points of both feet into the earth. Even that pinky toe side of that right foot. Maybe the right arm reaches up towards the ceiling. Once again, gaze can be at the floor. Can be ahead. Can be up. Beautiful. One more breath. Start to bend that left knee so you can tip all the way up to Warrior 2. Chest is towards the long side of your mat. Left knee bends over the ankle. Make sure you can see that big toe. Reach the arms out. If you're holding tension in the shoulders, just up and down. Beautiful. Reach. Look over the left fingertips. One more breath. Right hand comes down to the thigh. The left hand spins up and back. Revolve. Warrior 2. Big breath here. Feel the stretch on the left side. Big breath into the lungs. Inhale. Exhale. Bringing those arms down once again. Come to where it feels good for you for your triangle. And start to reach and stretch all the way up. You can turn that hand behind you. Maybe taking a little bind. Opening up that shoulder. Relax that neck. Keep pressing into both feet. Feel that left thigh spin up. One more big breath. Then reach that arm back up, bring it to your hip. Go ahead and start to bend that left knee. Hop up a little bit with that right foot. Maybe reaching that block out in front of you and lifting that right leg for a balancing half move. I'm going to move to the floor so it's not so wobbly on the carpet. And open up that hip. Press that heel away with that right foot. Flex the toes. And then press into all 3 points of that left foot for stability. Maybe that right arm reaches up. So I always like to give you options. So if you need a little break here, your toes can come down. If you're very warmed up, you can grab hold of the foot. You can even float this left arm out. Just play with where you are today. One more breath. And then bring that foot down, square the hips. Take a nice big forward fold and relax here. Take a breath. Inhale. Exhale. One more vinyasa if you'd like. Hands to the mat. Step it on back. Wave it to your plank. Lower down through your chaturanga. Upward dog or cobra. Downward dog. Let's go ahead and lower those knees down and sit it back. Take a breath here. Relax the shoulders. And then let's go ahead and come to our tabletop for a moment. Let's bring our knees underneath our hips again. Hands underneath the shoulders. And then bring your left hand into the middle of the mat right underneath the face. And let's lift that right arm out to the side. Let's thread it underneath you so that you're rolling to the outside of that right shoulder and you're reaching across. The right side of your head will come down to the mat. I'm going to turn here so it's easier to see. So you're here. And your left hand will stay next to your face, elbow up. Finding a nice little rotation, a stretch in the upper shoulders here. You can always take this hand and wrap it behind for a bind as long as you're not compromising the head. One more breath. Pressing into that left hand, bringing it there if it's not. Opening up, bringing it underneath your face. Opposite side. Left arm reaches out, threaded underneath that right arm, top of that left shoulder, side of that left head, side of the head, and your right hand is going to be next to your face, helping to rotate. Taking a breath here, or taking your hand around behind you as a little bind. 2 more breaths. And then bringing that hand next to your face again, coming all the way back up, and release. Let's go ahead and sit off to the side, extend those legs out in front of us, and shake it out. So another thing we work with the core is boat pose. Can I give us a little bit here? So let's play around with this here. All right. Sorry, my mat keeps moving around in this carpeting. Okay, so we're going to start by onto our sit bones. You want to really feel those sit bones rooted into the earth. Chest is lifted. Start here. You can bring the hands underneath the thighs. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. Maybe you come to the tiptoes. Maybe you just try one leg coming off at a time, seeing how you can balance here. Maybe both legs come up. Can you still keep that chest nice and lifted? Maybe one hand floats away, maybe the other. And then if you're here, regardless of where you are, if you'd like to take some toe touches, you touch down for 1 for the right, 1 for the left, right, left, right, left, right, left. 1 more each side, right, left, feet down, wrap it around. Big breath into the upper part of the back, the middle back, lower back. Beautiful. Coming back to your boat pose again. So hands can be underneath the thighs. You can have the feet one at a time. Bent knees, lift the chest. Arms out. You can even straighten the legs. Hold that belly button. Feel that nice long spine. Breathe in, shoulders away from the ears. Maybe you come down just a little. And maybe you swim your legs up and down. Up, left to right, left to right. In. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more. And feet down. Wrap it around. Give it a nice little hug. Beautiful. All right. So I told you like the last half of it is going to be restorative. So we are going to come all the way down to our back. Gently coming down. If you want to play with it with your core, you can. You can just gently come down. One vertebrae at a time. And knees into your chest. Hold it here, rock it side to side. Release any tension in the lower back. Taking your hands and releasing the fingers, bring it to the front of that right shin. Let that left foot come to the mat. Knee can stay up, foot on the floor, or you can extend that leg nice and long. And then give that knee a hug to the outside of the rib cage so you're not pressing in there, kind of more towards the armpit there. And pull that right side in, getting into that digestion. So when I used to take other yoga classes, they would call this wind removing pose. So hopefully that makes you laugh. But bringing that knee in, relaxing the shoulders. Deep breath here. You got it. And then bringing that right foot down, bringing that left knee into the chest. Outside of the rib cage, so move it away from the ribs. And then if you're ready, that right leg can extend nice and long. Bringing that knee in towards the armpit there. On the left side, nice little squeeze. Still finding the deep breaths into the belly. And one more inhale. Exhale, bring that foot down. Now let's bring both feet to the mat. And bring them up if they feel okay to bring both at the same time. Maybe your hands just rest on the tops of the shins. Or maybe you can lift the chest up, curl up into a little ball, reach the arms across so you're wrapping your crooks of your elbows around the knees. And maybe your hands are wrapping around your elbows. And then can you curl here, squeeze, but then let your head come all the way back down. And then can you let the tailbone feel like it's trying to come down as well. So if you feel like you're rocking up and that tailbone and that lower back is lifting up too much, then just loosen the grip so you can feel the squeeze with the tailbone sinking down as well. One more breath. You got it. And bring those feet down to the mat. And open the feet as wide as the mat. Go ahead and lift the fronts of the feet up so you're just on the heels. And let's make some windshield wipers side to side. So drop both knees to the right. And drop both knees to the left. And just release that lower back. Beautiful. All right, so let's bring both knees back up again. So we're working still on our digestion here. Both knees up. And then let's let both knees go over to the right. So both knees can come over. let me grab my blanket or a block. So sometimes coming all the way over, it's hard to let your knees come all the way to the floor, because then this left shoulder feels like it pops up. If you can let that left shoulder sink down and open up that arm and stretch it nice and long, then if it's not feeling compromised, too much stretch here, you can stay here. If it's a lot, just bring the floor up to you. So then bring that blanket there so you're not hurting so much in that stretch. You're giving yourself a break. You don't want to have any pain. You just want to feel a nice stretch. So bring the floor up to where you want to be. And conversely, if this is not deep enough for you, you're welcome to take that left leg, cross it over the right thigh, and then bring it down. So that's even a deeper stretch. For me, my left shoulder pops up, so I can either put the blanket underneath my shoulder, or I can just come back to stacked knees. And you can even do this a little deeper by extending out a leg as well. So you can extend a leg out, you can hold your toe, so the left leg can extend, your right hand can wrap around your toe. You can have all sorts of fun with it. Let's take one more breath. Before we move here, if you'd like to turn your head to get a full rotation, you're welcome to turn your head over the left shoulder if there's not any neck pain. If you're gazing over the left shoulder and it's not working for you, just look straight up towards the ceiling. Can you still breathe very deeply into the belly? Lower, below the belly button. In through the rib cage, up through the chest. Exhale, releasing. Taking 3 more breaths here. And then with your hands around your toe, let go, bend the knee, turn your head back up towards the ceiling if it's turned. Press into the floor with your hands as you bring the knees all the way back up. Sometimes for me it's nice to just recenter, and you can even rock side to side. Release that lower back. And then we're going to take the opposite side. Around here for you. Okay, so both knees coming into the chest, and we're going to let the knees come over towards the left. Once again, each side's going to feel a little different, so you may have more space on one side than the other. You may need to prop up a little bit higher or lower, so find where you feel comfortable. Letting that right shoulder come down. Feel like your upper back can release onto the mat. Right arm can stretch out nice and long. Gaze is either going to be up towards the ceiling or over the right shoulder eventually. And you have that option to deepen the pose by extending that right leg up, crossing it up and over that left thigh, and then finding that twist. Only if that's going to work in your body. You don't want to overdo it. You just want to feel a nice stretch. Deepen the breath. Three more breaths here. Maybe as you're here, sinking in, sometimes in these more yin restorative type poses, sometimes you need a little time to melt in so you can deepen the stretch softly and gently. And one more breath. And if the head is turned over the shoulder, bring it to where it faces towards the ceiling. Bring the hands to the floor, belly button up and in. If the leg is crossed, undo the crossing, bring the knees back to center. And then find that side to side, rocking with the knees to the chest. Or if it felt really nice, you can bring the feet wide, lifting up to the heels and windshield bumper. And then let's bring our feet under, extended out from our sit bones there. Knees are up towards the ceiling, so our feet are flat on the floor. And then let's bring one hand to our belly and one hand to our rib cage. And then let's find that flow in our breath. If it feels more comfortable for you to sit, that's perfectly fine. Let's take a big inhale and exhale first. And then our next inhale, we're going to count to 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 more rounds using your breath, your pace. Just finding the fire igniting as you inhale with counts of 4. And stoking out that fire with a long exhalation of 6. And after you've completed that second round, come back to your breath. It's natural for you. And then when you're ready, you can either rock and roll, meaning you bring your hands behind your shins and you roll to a little ball. And come all the way up to sit. And we're going to extend those legs in front of us. We're going to find a pose called Dandasana, or it's kind of a seated mountain pose, or a staff pose. Make sure the flesh is kind of moved out from the sit bones. So sometimes it feels good just to walk those sit bones back a little bit. Flex the feet so that your balls of your feet are pressing away, your toes are back towards you. And then if your hands can be flat on the floor, press them onto the floor. Sometimes it's hard, my arms are not quite long enough, so I have just maybe the fingers on the floor here. Relax the shoulders away from the ear. Can you pull the belly button up and in? Can you feel that chin down a little bit, crown of the head up towards the ceiling? Beautiful. 2 more breaths. One more. And then relax the shoulder. Let's bring that right knee in. Bring that foot flat onto the floor. Different levels. So wherever you are is perfect. I'm going to show you one, move on to the next, and we can always go back to where it felt better. So we're going to come into a twist. So if just keeping the left leg is great, then you can keep the right knee on the inside here. If you'd like and you have some space, you can bring that foot up and over and cross it on the outside of that left leg. Making sure that you can keep both sit bones rooted into the earth there. So you can keep that left leg long, or you can shift over and bend that knee, bringing that foot right next to the sit bones. So see if you can find sit bones rooted in. So that left leg. So you can come back to whichever pose felt better. And then from here, you want to feel the spine tall, crown of the head reaching, sit bones rooted into the earth, and then take this left hand, extend it out, and just kind of gently wrap it. So you're going to gently wrap that elbow around the outside of that knee, and you're going to start to twist towards your right shoulder. Taking a breath here. Maybe this right hand reaches behind you, presses into the floor, so you can lengthen the spine and rotate from the rib cage. Deep breaths. If you have enough space, you can even take this left hand, bring it to the outside of that right thigh, pressing in to rotate even more. Finding your breath, bringing out the digestion, the spine. One more big inhale. And then exhale, untwist the ribcage first. And then maybe bringing the hands over towards the left and just counter twisting a little bit here. Just a little opposite twist. And then come all the way back up. And then let's extend that right leg off of that thigh. Bring the right left leg forward. Let's shake out those legs. Beautiful. You got it. So find that staff pose again. Feel like your feet are flexed, like you're standing on the floor. Reaching forward, toes back towards you, shoulders relaxed. Beautiful. Left knee is going to bend in towards you. Foot is on the floor, knee is up. You can stay there as we do our twist. You can bring that left foot up and over the right thigh. Press that foot into the mat. Both sit bones rooted. You could stay there. Or you can bend this right knee. Bring that right foot next to your left side, the left glute there, and see if you can get both sit bones back down to the earth. So wherever you are is perfect. And then from here, reach that right arm up and then wrap it around the elbow to the knee and just give yourself a little lift here. Beautiful. This left hand can come behind you. I felt like a little kickstand, pressing into the earth to lift the chest. And then you're going to rotate just from the rib cage over towards the left shoulder. Gaze can always stay forward if you need to. If you have more space, this right hand can come to the outside of this left knee and rotate, looking all the way around. Can you breathe deeply into the belly? And find a little bit more breath as you breathe in, maybe a little bit more twist as you exhale, wringing out the spine. Relaxing the shoulders. One more big breath. And then turning the neck back forward, turning the rib cage and the chest, bringing the hands over to the right, and find that little counter twist there. Beautiful. And come all the way back up, bring that left foot off, right foot off, bring out those legs, shake it out. Maybe bringing the hands back behind you, bringing the feet up, and then opening up the feet, lifting up to the heels, and just windshield wiper side to side. Relaxing the shoulders, keeping those away from the ears. Hopefully you're finding a little release in your digestive system there. Beautiful. And come back to that staff pose. Shake out the legs here. All right, we're going to do one more little fold. You're welcome to grab some blocks, blankets if you'd like. And you can have, you can have a choice here. So you can have your legs straight and hinging forward, taking a nice Dandasana forward fold. You can open up the feet wider if you want to take a wider leg fold. You can even bring the feet to butterfly, soles of the feet together. I'll call it yogi's choice. Whatever you feel like doing today, what's calling to you, what do you feel like before we move into our final Shavasana. You can even use props for your head. And once again, finding those sit bones, finding the chest nice and tall. I'm in a butterfly Baddha Konasana here. And I'm going to inhale, lifting the chest wherever you are. Exhale with the straight spine, just leaning it forward. Once you find you can't go anymore, no pain, wherever you are, no pain in the back, the knees, then maybe you round the spine and just let everything go. Maybe you find where your body will take you today and just let everything release. Taking some big deep breaths in, maybe bringing that attention back to what was your intention or your dedication for your practice today. What was your focus? Deep with the breath. Fill up the breath all the way to the bottom of the belly. Gently hug and lift as you release through the nose. If you need to release through the mouth, that's okay. Keep finding that stillness, softness as you're exhaling. Finding a little bit deeper stretch on each exhalation without compromising. 2 more breaths. And then on your next exhale, gently roll it up. If the feet are wide, bring them together. If they're together, shake them out. If the feet are together in Vata, extend them, shake it out. Release that. Beautiful. All right. You got it. So we're getting ready to go down for our final Shavasana. And one of the poses that's really good for digestion is laying on your left side. So even when you're pregnant, you don't do all these twists and stuff like that we've been doing, but even when you're pregnant, you have to you should be laying on your left side. But everything from your digestion seems to go that direction. So if you lay on the left side, it'll help aid in that digestion. So I'm going to give you a pose that you can do with some of these props, and you can lay down onto your left side if you'd like. Or if you want to do full Shavasana, just lay all the way straight out, legs extended, about the width of your mat, just let them hang, arms here. Or find yourself a wall, and you can bring the legs up to the wall, laying on your back. And that can be really restorative, helps to bring everything back down. So that one's a really nice one too, especially in evenings. And for the pose on the left side, I'm going to take my blanket and I'm just going to make kind of a nice little open fold here. So it's a little bit bigger. And I'm going to roll over to my left hip and I'm going to lay down in what they call a fetal position. So bringing this left arm out, we kind of did some of that stretch here earlier. And I'm going to bend the elbow and just let the left side of my head rest. So you can have just both knees stacked, but if you notice, it lets everything kind of roll in. So I like to kind of put a blanket here so my feet and my knees have a little support, and then relax. So you can stay here. If you're finding this arm needs something as well, you can even take a prop, so then that way you've got something to support that shoulder. And then just notice how this feels. If this is too much, having your shoulder here, get a pillow. Just find a little pillow and maybe use, I'm using a block, but use a pillow underneath your head as a release. And just find a way to soften here. So you can stay here. You can do the legs up the wall. Or you could take full Shavasana. I want you to take what works well for your body and just keep staying into this position. Taking some deep breaths, softening and releasing. And maybe noticing whichever pose you took, if there's any change in the body. Do you notice any change in this midsection? Do you notice if the breath helped to calm the mind? Did you notice if doing some of these twists helped to maybe start some of the digestion movement going? Or maybe it calmed down some of the stirriness that's going on. We have a lot going on in our life right now. And when that happens, a lot of times it does stir up a lot of stress in our bellies, our guts. So sometimes you have to show this, just a little bit extra love and a little bit of tension, a little bit of relaxation to kind of get it to calm down. And feel like everything, wherever you are, is just releasing to the earth. The shoulders are soft. Make sure the jaw is unclenched. The teeth are not squeezing together. The face is soft. And maybe if you want to bring your attention just back to that third chakra, right in your solar plexus, just above your belly button. Imagine that little, now it's not a flame anymore. The flame has been stoked, but it's a little glowing yellow, like the sun, like a little, we'll call it like a little sparkly marble. And just imagine that little marble there. And it's just floating around, giving us the energy we need to digest food, giving us a little extra warmth and ability to create flame when we need it, to stoke the fire, to get rid of toxins, to help when we're trying to do any physical activity or things like that. And then also notice that it also can help us calm and soften. So that little glowing yellow ball is just ever so slightly, just gently moving around. Just noticing it there. Taking a few breaths. And that little glowing ball is just being held there by just ever so slightly, little hugging arms around it, just giving you a little extra love. Maybe whenever those tensions creep up, digestion starts to bother you, maybe you can give yourself a little softness. And then when you're ready, start to take one more inhale. Exhale, release it all. And start wiggling your fingers, your toes, the wrists, the ankles. Maybe stretching. If you're in a fetal position, you can roll onto your back. Bringing the knees into the chest if you'd like. Maybe making a few more rock and roll side to side. Happy baby if you'd like, with the arms between the legs. Wrapping your hands around the outside of the feet. And once again, we really miss having you at the studio. Hopefully we'll get some news
at some point to reopen, and we can't wait to see everybody come back. Hopefully everyone is staying safe and healthy and at home, and hopefully you're enjoying these videos. There's so many on the Wellness Center, or if you look up YouTube, look up Goodyear Yoga. So many amazing instructors and different people doing so much to help keep our community together. So look out on there, take everybody's classes, have fun with it. There's so many different ones for kids, adults, chair, you name it. We miss you. Hope you have a beautiful day, and thank you again for joining me. Namaste.